Hello, this is Bronwyn from Wise Therapy, and today I want to talk about feminine style healing. I had the blessed opportunity to participate in a grief retreat for women this past weekend with this global movement called Shakti Rising. And I was exposed to a style of healing that I've never seen in the world, but resonated with very, very deeply. And it occurred to me that the way we were congregating and being with each other is old. It's ancient, in fact. And healing in community is a radical notion that is not new, but has been forgotten. Today, we find ourselves living in a paradigm where healing has become very masculinized, and we are encouraged and forced in many ways to heal, face our trauma, face our fears, be with our wounding in private. And this is heavily, heavily regulated and delineated by law and ethical codes that are, in one sense, meant to protect the individual, but in another, end up quarantining us off and away from our community when we're in pain. And the more that I feel into this and think about it, the more of a problem I have with it. And so I am a licensed mental health therapist. I'm licensed in California, Oregon, and Washington. So I have jumped through many hoops. I have years and years of education. I have a mountain of debt. I've taken numerous exams, all different kinds, just to be able to give people love, to give them love when they're in pain and when they're suffering and when they feel alone. And this weekend, I had the privilege of coming together with 22, 23 women, where we honored ourselves and each other in our grief, in our pain, in front of each other, and with each other, and for each other. And it had a profound impact upon me. A few notes I want to highlight about what I've noticed and what I'm gathering around feminine style healing and masculine style healing. Feminine style healing, when I was with these women, they're all existing in dual relationships together. These are women living together, some of them. These are women working together, and they're women healing together. Some of them are licensed psychotherapists. Some of them are licensed other kinds of therapists, somatic therapists, other kinds. And some of them are certified in this or that, and some of them are uncredentialed and are just bringing their raw talent and their raw desire to give love and acceptance. And so the reality of dual relationship in healing environment and healing capacity is something that is strongly cautioned in the masculine model. in conventional modern day psychotherapy or healing relationships. And when I saw these women existing in these dual relationships together, well, I didn't notice any harm being done, that's for sure. If anything, I saw value in women being real about who they are and being multifaceted and playing many roles and wearing many hats in one's life. You know, another issue that comes up in conventional psychology is self-disclosure. As therapists, when and how is it appropriate to self-disclose? This weekend, I saw each and every one of these women inside of myself. I felt them inside of me. And I saw myself in all of them. And when we don't pretend that we're not people, there's such a deeper level of honesty, authenticity, presence, and possibly healing that's possible when we can be who we are completely and whole in the context of healing. I am a mother. I am a therapist. I am a daughter. I am an artist. I am a dancer. I am a writer. I am a cook. I run my household. I'm a granddaughter. My grandmother lives with me. I'm a wife. I'm a lot of things. And to deny myself access to all of those parts when I am in the presence of someone's grief and pain, and I'm trying to love them as completely as I can in that, that's an obstacle. Those are obstacles that I am unnecessarily imposing upon the space, upon the dynamic. I recognize that this weekend. And it's not to say that I overshared, or because I was part of the facilitation team. I was one of the people holding space for this retreat and facilitating exercises. And so it's not, I still held myself in a place of reverence for what was happening and as part of the holder of space and part of the container. But by not denying myself the experience of all of my parts in the moment, I was whole and I had so much more to give. So much more to give. I had so much more access to wisdom, insight, inspiration. Another aspect of feminine healing that I have been struck by is touch. Whew. In conventional psychology, you don't touch your clients. You don't hug your clients. You don't touch them. I mean, there's the obvious hard lines of, sexual, nothing sexual should ever happen in a therapeutic relationship. But when it comes to touch, affection, massage, just closeness and togetherness, I was really struck by how affectionate these women were with each other and with me right off the bat. As soon as I walked into this environment and I introduced myself to women individually, they hugged me and they embraced me, and I felt their love and I felt their acceptance. without even knowing me. And I felt my love and acceptance of them immediately as well. And we felt close, and it felt intimate. And it created safety. It created a degree and sense of safety that I don't know if that's possible otherwise. I felt a degree of safety with strangers that I haven't been able to cultivate with clients that I've been working with for years, without touch and affection. Because touch and affection transmits energy. And your body can read the energy of another body directly, instantaneously. I hugged these women, and I knew who their hearts were. I felt and knew what I was dealing with, who I was with. You know, and when you hug somebody, or you're physically near somebody that you feel strange vibes, or something feels off, I mean, you just know it. You just know it immediately. And so through embrace, I knew immediately I was safe. And in those women hugging me, they knew immediately they were safe. And as we participated in ritual throughout the weekend, women, we sat in circles, and we stroked each other's hair, and we held each other's hands, and we put our hands on each other's backs as we grieved, to let them know, you are not alone, and I see you and I hear you. And we gave each other healing, loving massage to move energy and to relieve tension and relieve stress and relieve any contraction that was arising in response to the pain that we were releasing. And it offered another level of healing, physical healing, that is otherwise absent in therapeutic work. You know, and the last aspect of feminine healing, certainly not the last that exists, but the last that I'll mention today, that I was very struck by, was the way that we congregated in a circle. You know, when I sit apart or sit in front of another person, we're creating a line. And a line is very different dynamic than a circle. A line has a top and a bottom. There's a natural hierarchy that is born from a line. There's suddenly a contract between these 2 points. There's also the implication of limitedness. When there's 2 points and there's a line between them, it's limited. It is finite in what it's capable of. When we sit in a circle, we're creating a circuit. We're creating, well, this circuit is infinite. Energy just moves around and around and around, and it can move up and it can move down, and it moves around and around. And there is no hierarchy. There is no limits. And the beauty is that there's a center. There's a center in a circle. And the center reminds us of our centers, of that we are all a center. We all have a center, and we are all the center. And we all, when we link together to create a circle, we create a chain of interlocking loops. And that chain is strong. There's strength in that chain that can't be created the same way in the space between 2 points. You know, and the circle itself symbolizes the female body. And that's why I see it as being inherently feminine. A feminine way of holding and creating space. Women's bodies cycle with the moon. Women's bodies are round when we're pregnant, when we breastfeed. Belly dance is a beautiful symbol of the circular nature of the female body because all of the movements are circles. We circle the hips, we circle the chest, everything is circles. It's a fertility dance. It's a moon dance. And so when we gather in a circle, we also recognize the nature of the mother, the female body. So I'm still sitting with this new, to me, I'm sitting with what I'm remembering about feminine healing. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to start dismantling what I've internalized about what healing looks like. And I'm excited about creating a new model that incorporates the feminine, the value of the feminine in the therapeutic relationship. If you'd like to dialogue more, have questions or comments, or you just want to know more about what I do, go to my website, wisetherapy.com, wise with a Z, or email me at healing@wisetherapy.com, wise with a Z.